Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah from the SCDF.
There are a lot of skills that just never been taught.
I'm scared I do it wrong. I perform CPR and then I break the guy's ribs. One. Oh my god.
The rib broke straight away.
Do you know how to save a life? This is your daily ketchup. So a lot of you have been asking us to introduce the cast members who are appearing on the episode. So we're going to try that. Today on the show, we have Jonathan Paul, Denise, myself, Jared, and a special guest, Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah from the SCDF. Welcome to the show!
Welcome.
Is this also how you all salute? Because the Girl Scout different, right?
Yeah.
So how long have you been working in the SCDF?
Okay, so I've joined the force for about 15 years, and throughout the span of my career, I've been at the front lines. And I would say the most eventful one was my stint as a fire station commander at Tuas Fire Station.
Most eventful.
Yeah, because you get to see what most people don't get to see.
Yeah, I never seen Tuas in my life, I think.
That's what. So contextually, right, why we're having this episode today is because I feel like there are a lot of skills that we have just never been taught. But I think that they're very, very important to have just in case of emergencies, right? The other day, right, I was standing in the kitchen talking to my grandmother, and then she was just like eating lah. Then I think we cracked a joke or something, and then she laughed. But the moment she laughed, right, then she started joking.
Wait, like she was eating something and she choked on
I
the
think
food.
so, like drinking or eating something. Then it gets more and more intense. Then you see her face turn red, right? Then she start to like that. Then I standing next to her. I'm obviously still laughing at my joke, right? Then I start to notice that, why is it not stopping? And in that moment, it's just the two of us at home, right? There's no one else. Then I'm thinking, is this where you perform like some Heimliching, don't know what thing, right? or whatever. And I don't know how to do that.
Heimliching your grandma.
Yeah. So I literally just had to stand there.
You didn't even try, do you try anything?
No, I go and try to like
water,
pat her back or what, but this kind of thing to me is like, I cannot be got used or pat the back. Yeah. Thankfully, in the end, like somehow like it coughed out or whatever, then it was fine lah. But she could have died there. I also
you
don't
would
know.
have just been
But it made me
standing
very
around.
scared.
Laughing
It made
at
me
your
very,
joke.
very scared. Yeah, then after I go and Google, all right. But then the maneuver doesn't seem as straightforward and easy to execute as it seems lah.
So Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah,
Yeah.
what should someone do if they see someone choking?
Actually, the procedure is actually very simple. It's called Heimlich maneuver. The universal sign of choking is someone clutching their throat.
Oh, really?
Just like the...
Universal sign of choking.
Similar
very
to what
dramatic,
John
yeah.
Paul's grandmother
Okay.
experienced. What you actually need to do is actually stand behind the casualty, put one of your legs in between the patient's legs to support them from falling backwards. And then what you do is that you take one hand, put your thumb in and clutch it into a fist.
Wait, I've seen this before.
Yeah.
No, this is a help me. okay.
So
yeah.
And then after that, what you do is that you use your other hand, the ring finger, to try to locate the navel of the patient.
The
Like the
what?
the whole
Or
navel.
belly button.
Belly
On the
button,
navel,
belly button.
yeah, the belly
Okay,
button of the
okay.
patient. 2 fingers above that navel, and then you place your clenched fist. And then after that, you take the other hand and push inwards and upwards.
It's much
multiple
lower
times.
than I thought.
So the idea is actually to try to dislodge the foreign object that is obstructing the airway.
Is there any risk involved? Like I hear like CPR, this kind of right? Like you do wrongly, then you break the rib or this kind of thing.
It's
For
not
this-
do wrongly though.
You
Like,
do
in a
right
lot
also
of-
can.
Yeah, break the rib.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely when you thrust onto a patient or someone's abdomen, there will be a risk. But having said that, doesn't mean that you should stop doing something, especially if you hear a cracking sound or whatsoever. You should still continue because the outcome of someone not being rendered any Heimlich maneuver versus the ribcage breaking is going to be more adverse, right? If it's the former. You standing there and
The
watching.
alternative is death.
Is there like a most common thing that people choke on?
Fishball.
Not that aware of.
Channel 8 always show.
How y'all don't leave the scene with a ziploc bag of the fish balls today or like drumlet or this thing?
Then they have a Hall of Fame. Then it's just
CP wonton. Okay.
It's the old chunky, the big one, the big one.
Wait, then how about for like a child? Does it work differently?
For infants, yes. It will be rather difficult for you to perform Heimlich maneuver.
Why they got belly button also?
Yeah, but I mean...
Yeah, but you break all the bones in their body.
Just squeeze them, right?
So actually what you do for infants actually to do backward thrust.
So I laid them facing down the ground. I'm confused. Sorry.
He's so frustrated, right?
No, so basically, you cradle the infant, right? And then-
Facing me.
Yeah, facing you first.
Ah.
And after that, you position it in such a way that the infant is actually facing downwards on one arm.
Also like that.
Like you're
Yeah.
gonna slap his bottom like that.
That's
Not
right.
saying you're gonna slap the bottom,
That's
but
right,
that's
yeah.
the position it should be in.
That's right. Then you apply the thrust at the back of the infant.
Like I slap the back like
Like
that.
how many?
I mean, as
Until
many
it's
as it takes
many.
until the
Yes,
item
yes,
is dislodged.
To save a life.
Is there a technique to the backward to the back thrust?
So actually, you use the heel of your palm to apply the backward thrust. Yeah, yeah.
Like when you press the car horn.
Wow, I don't think I dare.
Too much
Like a
strength, is it?
baby
You
feels,
don't know
a
your
child
power.
feels so fragile.
You don't even have to touch a baby in general.
It's true.
But I
Whether or
mean,
not they're choking.
in an emergency, I think if you are aware of all these skills and knowledge, it's rather important for you to apply it.
Right.
Definitely.
When I was 16 or so, like my grandfather, he suffered a stroke.
What is the cause of a stroke?
A lack of oxygen to your brain, if I'm not wrong. I wasn't there, but if I was there, I feel like I would be in the same position as JP with his grandmother. Like I wouldn't really know what to do or like even know that a stroke is happening. I guess, how do you detect a stroke, firstly of all?
Okay, so we like to use acronyms because it helps people to remember. So the acronym to identify a stroke patient is actually SAF. S refers to speech. That means a suspected stroke patient will have a slurry speech, cannot speak properly. And after that, A, you can ask a suspected stroke patient to try to move his or her hands upwards because typically they won't be able to.
Oh.
And then after that, F refers to the face. So usually a suspected stroke patient will have one side of the face drooping downwards.
So speech, arms, face.
Correct. And the next step to follow is actually to just ensure that the stroke patient is comfortable, either seated down or lying down. I have stories from my paramedic colleagues say that they respond to stroke patients and the family members put a lot of medicated oil and ointments. So that's a myth. You don't need to apply any medicated oil or ointment. Basically, it doesn't really help.
So should I call for the ambulance to come or should I drive the person to the hospital?
I think it's better for you to call an ambulance to come because they will be able to provide the necessary out-of-hospital care.
Or like
for
during the
patient.
ambulance, they can start treating rather
right,
than...
that's
Okay,
right.
so that's worth the time of waiting for the ambulance to come, I suppose.
Do you know what the feeling is like of getting a stroke? Because like I'm wondering if I'm alone, then I won't even realize it, ma. You know, like why would I leave my hands up? I mean, sure, now that I know this, maybe if I begin, but what am I supposed to feel? Then I begin to like, maybe I should test and look for the symptoms.
Let me read you a list of warning signs. So numbness or weakness in your face, arm or leg, especially only on one side of your body. Confusion or trouble understanding other people and difficulty speaking. And then you can have sudden trouble seeing with one or both eyes and problems walking or staying balanced and coordinated.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Is
so
there a
these
side?
are the common signs, but then just because you have this also doesn't mean that you're having a stroke.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
consult a doctor. Consult a doctor is the right advice.
I will call an ambulance if I felt that way already.
Yeah.
I wouldn't wait to go to my GP.
And to answer your earlier question also, stroke is a cut off of a blood supply to the brain. So that could be caused by like your blood vessel burst or there's a clot like a blockage or what. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is why it damages your brain cells.
Right.
Yeah.
No, then to his question, is there a particular site that it usually happens more frequently to?
Because I remember like heart attacks or something, right? Like because your heart is on the left side, that's why their left arm starts to feel numb. That's my very basic medical knowledge.
Wait, it's real? Like what you're saying is real?
I would think that the part furthest away would.
I'm not a doctor. But yeah. Speaking of heart attacks, actually, I've always wondered, like, is there a difference? Because I always hear like these two terms like interchangeable, right? Cardiac arrest, heart attack. Are they the same thing?
Yeah, it's actually a different thing. Cardiac arrest is when the heart stops immediately or instantaneously. And heart attack is actually where blood doesn't flow properly to the heart.
Right.
But if you ask me, cardiac arrest is more severe if there's no early intervention.
What can we do to intervene?
Yeah, so when we talk about cardiac arrest, we talk about the chain of survival. So there are actually five parts to the chain of survival: early recognition, early CPR, early AED, the arrival of emergency medical services, and then the final part is advanced cardiac life support. Out of these 5 steps, right, the first 3 steps are actually a bystander response, meaning if you see someone that is, just lying on the floor, on the street, in a park, in a public space, then you will need to sort of perform certain steps to identify and to confirm that that is a possible cardiac arrest victim.
Check the nose.
So it's a little bit more elaborate than that. So basically, again, I will have to bring out another acronym: DRS-ABC.
Wait, that's not even a word. So sorry to hate on your acronym.
It's DRS-ABC, and then some are DRS-ABC and D. So I'll explain to you what it means actually. D, right, is actually to check for danger. Say, for example, it's by the side of the road. When you want to respond, make sure that there's no oncoming traffic and you are safe before you can perform the other steps. R is to actually check for response. You want to make sure that this individual is actually not someone who's drunk and sleeping.
Oh, this is the "Are you okay, sir? Are you okay?"
Exactly.
Okay.
So that's the response part. And then after that, S is where you send for help or shout for help. If let's say someone's around you, then you will have to point to an individual. Say, for example, if I'm looking at you, I say, okay, you sir with the white cap, please call 995 for ambulance. You ma'am, the one with the black jacket, please get an AED.
Between the two of them, right, you just look like that. You trust him to make the call.
Bro, just now he can't wear his cap properly. What are you talking about?
Hey, calm down,
He
sir.
actually hit your phone. His phone has no cover.
It's fine. I got Apple Care.
Yeah, okay. So why we advocate for this during training is that we don't want this bystander effect. Because if you just shout, call 995, call 995 for an ambulance. Say,
You call.
everybody will assume that somebody else is doing something. So it's important that you point to someone to perform that certain
Right.
task. If you already determined these first three steps, then you go on to the A part.
Wait, are we going to CPR already?
Yeah.
Because I think this will be the perfect time
Yeah.
to bring out
Yeah.
Your friend.
this guy.
Sally.
Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah has very kindly brought got name not?
Whatever name you
Whatever
want.
name you want. Sally, I guess.
No,
Yeah.
Jonathan Chua.
Jonathan Chua to kind of like show how to perform CPR.
Let's save Jonathan Chua. Let's go.
Okay, so for the A, you check for airway, right? So you head tilt, chin lift, and then you see whether there's any foreign object that's obstructing the airway. And then after that, if there is, of course, you remove it. If you have gloves, remove it with a glove. Then after that, you check for breathing. It's actually not the finger below the nose. It's actually look, listen, and feel. So you want to look for the rise and fall of the chest. And then you bring your ear closer to the mouth of the patient and you can feel whether there's any breathing or not.
That's how I check whether my dog's still alive every night.
Well, that's dark.
She ain't sleeping one. I don't know whether she like I have to wait for the up and down before I okay. Can.
Then we move on to C. It's very important that there's no breathing. Then you can perform chest compressions.
Oh.
Yeah.
So if he breathing, then what do I do?
If breathing, then you just monitor breathing and wait for the arrival of the ambulance crew.
Okay, so Jared, DRS-ABC, go. What?
Danger
Which is?
Yeah.
to see whether there's anything around you.
Okay,
Whether
next.
there is danger. Then R is response.
What is
right?
that?
Check for response.
Yeah.
Wait, don't help him. He's so into, right?
The thing where you like you don't just put like that, right? You see you monitor the
Wrong.
This one is the, hey, sir, hello. You get
sir,
him
are
to
you
respond.
Okay.
Are you
Or
drunk?
her, or they, or them, whatever.
then S you specifically tell people, you, the guy in the black cap, go call 995.
No.
Wrong.
Wait, what is this? No
Shout. Help.
Shout, but with be specific.
Yeah.
A, airway.
Okay, then.
This is the part where you no, don't do this, but like the dog thing.
He didn't learn a
going
single
on?
thing.
Hit, tilt, chin, leaf, bodo.
I don't deserve
You know what is
this.
that or not?
Yeah,
To do what?
to see whether got any foreign object in the mouth.
Yeah. If have
Take out.
Okay, then.
Then check for breathing.
Then what is C?
Chest compression.
Then what is D?
He said D.
He said got D also. What?
Yeah, so actually I didn't.
He didn't say.
Must check him. Let him bullshit. Is it true?
Diaphragm.
Yeah, I know. So actually D is when you apply the defibrillator
Oh, I thought it's
pads.
Don't
what
touch
to
him
do in the
anymore,
event
he's
of
dead.
death?
That's-
Okay, sorry. Defibrillator.
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 Yeah.
Okay, so let me clarify the S part. So S is when there are people around you. So assuming you're alone, this is where I would like to recommend you to download our myResponder app. And if you use the app to call 995, it will geolocate your position. So our operations center, 995, will be able to know exactly where you are.
Right.
If, say for instance, you are unsure of what are the steps that you were supposed to take, the operator will also be able to advise you and bring you through what are the steps that you can take. Yeah, but just to put things into perspective, 2022, SCDF ambulance responded to over 250,000 calls.
No real cost lah, not the headache shit.
No, like
Calls in total. In total.
Damn it.
cost in total.
What?
Our resources are finite.
Yeah.
We cannot be anywhere and everywhere all the time. So if someone suffers from cardiac arrest, right, actually the chance of survival is being reduced 7 to 10% every minute that passes.
Right.
Damn.
So imagine if someone suffers from a cardiac arrest now, 10 minutes, if there's no intervention, then the chance of survival is almost zero.
So even if the ambulance comes as soon as they can,
That's right.
wouldn't be standing like the time of the call and everything, it still looks bad lah in terms
Exactly.
of like someone getting cardiac arrest.
Exactly.
Denmark actually is doing this really well because as part of taking your driver's license, they also require you to learn basic first aid and CPR.
Yeah, I feel like that should be the case, eh.
Yeah.
Because this kind of skill, right, really like damn important, eh.
Yeah,
It shouldn't be optional.
Yeah.
So it's good that you point that out because I mean this skill you wouldn't know when you actually need to apply it. A medical doctor who is actually the cardiac arrest victim herself. She was at home talking to the husband and she suffered cardiac arrest. Thankfully, the husband recalled what he learned almost 20 years before when he was undergoing national service.
Good for him.
And he immediately applied CPR, called 995. So 995 alerted our community first responders via the app, and a community first responder really stepped forward and brought an AED
Right.
to the patient, and she survived.
Wow. I didn't know it's the 995 that contacts the...
The first responder.
Yeah.
Yeah, so how it works is that whenever a caller calls 995, then the operator will be able to send out alerts through the myResponder app. And then the myResponder app will be able to detect within 400-meter radius of a user who has downloaded and registered the app. And the user will be able to, can choose to respond to the emergency.
You have to opt in for this lah.
That's
to
right.
Be a community first
That's right.
responder.
You have to enable the alerts or notifications to be sent to you.
And how many of them are there in Singapore like right now?
So actually, as of January 2024, we have more than 162,000 registered myResponder.
162,000 is like a much higher number than I thought it would be. Like I personally want to help, and I think most people have a desire to help, but there are some things that are holding me back. I think we mentioned like CPR can kind of cause like injuries, right? Like even the Heimlich can cause an injuries. And then I'm scared I do it wrong. You know, like I perform CPR and then I break the guy's ribs, and then if I do CPR wrong, then the person might not even survive. And then now I have that kind of thing on my conscience. So
I mean, one of the few things that we found out is through our surveys is that people are not confident enough to step up. So with that, we have revised the training package or syllabus, which we now call it the Responders Plus program. So we have revised it into just 2 modules. The online package is actually only 45 minutes. Whereby you can drop on and off. You can log in and log off at your own time.
online
convenience.
lecture like that.
It's not a lecture per se. 5 topics, 5 chapters that guides you to pick up what we call the triangle of life skills. Basically, it's basic first aid, CPR AED, as well as handling fires, minor fires, like fire extinguishers, hose reels, and so on. And then the in-person component is actually a 4-hour. We have reduced from 8 hours to 4 hours. You can book a slot at any of the 4 division headquarters for free of charge.
Right, like, so you actually get to learn how to do CPR on the dummy and all that kind of
You
stuff.
get to handle the fire extinguisher. We have a fire simulator, and you really apply the PASS method, which I mentioned, and really extinguish the fire.
So Jared, what does PASS stand for?
Pull
What?
the tab, the ring. Okay, aim.
Correct.
Sweep is the last one, but what is S? The third S.
Easy one.
Sweep.
You like to do it, yeah.
Stroke.
No, another
So 5
method.
signs of a stroke.
Switch.
Squeeze.
Squeeze. I do like to squeeze. Okay, yeah.
So speaking of CPR, right? I also heard that like you are not supposed to do the kissing thing all the time.
See it? No, okay.
Yeah. Hygiene.
But if you're single,
yeah.
okay.
So we do also recognize that people may not be so forthcoming applying the breathing, meaning you have to mouth resuscitation. It's also another myth that if you don't want to do the mouth-to-mouth, you do not apply CPR at all.
Oh, so you can
You can still just do chest compressions. Yeah. So
I was
you-
actually going to ask the opposite. If I'm not confident with this, then can I just do the mouth?
no, like, it doesn't work that way.
Oh, it doesn't. Okay,
Then
well,
the thing that they're choking on just goes further down their throat.
I don't know, ma. Okay. Now we know. Yeah.
I mean, since we have Jonathan Chua here, the dummy,
Oh, you can't say he's stupid.
should we teach the audiences how to do CPR?
Sure.
And you need to
This is how to save Jonathan Chua.
need to get out. Is it okay? You stay there. I'll bring the Jonathan Chua down.
So you have to place the heel of your palm from your right hand and look for the lower part of the chest bone. Interlace the fingers from your other hand. And then after that, you lock your elbows.
Oh, okay.
That's right.
That's very key.
Use your body weight and then you apply actually 4 to 6 cm compression.
I don't think he has that length.
Yeah, so the optimal number of compressions is actually 100 to 120 per minute. So how you do it is actually you count 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 10 up to 30. And then after that you check for the breathing.
Okay.
If breathing is absent, you continue. You stop only when paramedics have arrived and taken over.
So say I do right, then I'm at 16, then the person breathe. Do I finish the 30? Or I just...
These not
Okay.
antibiotics.
Just checking.
Yeah, then you stop.
We got people like Jared, I just need to check for them.
Push down 4 to 6 cm.
That's right.
Wow, this seems really deep.
Yeah. So between the compressions, right, you need to ensure that the chest fully recoil before you press again.
Oh, like bring it back to normal position.
Correct.
Like where I was.
You do.
That's right.
Okay. 1. Oh my god.
The rib broke straight away.
I feel like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 10 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 15.
And
Correct,
then
until 30.
why are you stopping?
Then where's the mouth to mouth happen?
So mouth to mouth, actually.
I seem too excited about
When you tired lah.
So actually, if you are comfortable, right,
I am.
after the 30 chest compressions, that's where you give the two breaths.
Is there a specific way to give the breaths?
So you pinch the nose.
Okay.
So you do the head tilt chin lift,
Ask
and
for
then
consent first in this day and age.
and then you cover your mouth over the patient's mouth, and then you blow.
Any technique to it?
No, just blow. You don't know how to blow?
technique, yeah, just one blow, one breath, 2 breaths.
Everybody, if Jared can do this, so can you.
So no.
And he said two breaths.
Twice, right? Yeah, twice.
He blowing the balloon.
It's been a
Yeah,
while.
so when you cover your mouth over the patient's mouth, right? You just when you breathe into it, just see that the chest is inflated, lah. Basically, you get the hang of it already. You continue the cycle until the arrival of an AED.
Alright,
right, and that's it for today. This episode was brought to you by SCDF. So big thank you to them, and of course, Lieutenant Colonel Abdullah for joining us on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
We hope that today's conversation has equipped you with the skills to handle basic emergencies. And for more information on community first responders, you can head on over to the links below. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.
A 15-year-old student who was on the way home from a bus. The bus knocked on a lady and then she was rendered unconscious. This 15-year-old girl who happened to be a NCDCC cadet. She stepped up and stepped forward to render CPR on that lady until she regained consciousness.
Whoa.
Yeah, and before the paramedic arrives.
Whoa.
So when the paramedic arrives, she just, it's okay, I got this. You're okay.
No, I mean, of course, after
She
that, she was
raised it from the head, all that will get taken back by the bus.
CCA points
job
a
here
year.
is done.
She's straight away chairperson already.